Right. Good evening, everyone. Students, can you hear me? Yeah. Happy Diwali. I'm not saying anything. Wait, man. Ah, look at here. This is Tomcat folder structure. Last class we have installed Tomcat now. So this is the Tomcat folder structure. It is 8.0 version Tomcat. Let's see, are all these folders available? Same folders available here or not? Tomcat 11 version. Look at there. Are same folders available? View list. Ah, Can you hear me, online students now? Yeah, there's a power loss. Now, look at here the folders. First bin, next lib, next conf. It's not config, conf. Where conf, and next we have logs folder, web apps folder, and work. Now inside bin folder, last class we have seen startup.bat for starting the server, shutdown.bat for shut down the server. If it is a Windows operating system, we have to use these files. And if it is a Linux or Solaris, we have to use startup.sh, shutdown.sh. Next. Servlet, Java EE Servlet technology is a implementation or specification? Specification. To that specification, implementation classes must be provided by server vendor. So Tomcat vendor Apache company has provided implementation for Servlet API in the jar file servlet-api.jar. And the same thing is provided in, JSP implementation provided in JSP-api.jar. Let us see, are those jar files available in the latest version? Lib folder. Yeah, servlet-api.jar, JSP-api.jar there. Super. Next, conf folder. Inside conf folder, server.xml already we have seen. Also, there is an important file called Catalina.properties. Let's see, is that file available or not? Do you remember Catalina Jasper? Catalina is servlet container name. Jasper is JSP container name. Catalina.properties also there. Let me see what is there inside. I forgot actually why I mentioned that. Okay, we may include some jar files, common jar files. List of common separated path define the content of common class loader prefix separator. Okay. If you have any common jar files to load into the JVM, you can mention here. All these jar files are automatically loaded. If you want to load any jar file into the server and make them available to the project, then you can mention the jar file name here with a slash separator. Okay. That's why Catalina.properties. Actually, Catalina.properties didn't use in Ameerpet. Okay, in company maybe I used. With that experience, I may mention here. Okay, logs folder. And tell me, in our standalone application, when you print any message on the console using system.out.println or command prompt console, it will be displayed. But in Tomcat, it will be saved inside logs folder. Inside logs folder, it will be there with what name? Catalina.out. Now, inside logs folder, the file name is localhost and Catalina. Two files are there. So you have to use Catalina if you want to see any errors and exceptions. Last time already we have started server. The server details are all maybe saved here. Observe. Okay, complete messages are printed. There are some exceptions. HTTP method name must be tokens. Invalid character found in method name, something is coming. Okay, if any exceptions are coming, that will be shown here in the Catalina.out. When your project failed to load into the Tomcat and running, come to this Apache Tomcat log folders and you have to verify here. Okay, the next web apps folder. What the full form of web apps? Web applications. Your Servlet project, JSP project, nothing but a web application. If you want to run that web Tomcat folder, inside Tomcat folder, in which folder we have to copy? Web apps folder. Once you develop your project you have to deploy into Tomcat. This folder you have to web apps folder you have to deploy. Then only it is considered as a web project and loaded. Then next, work folder. Inside this work folder, JSP converter servlet program will be there. JSP is a directly HTML page. After you send request, background JSP page is created. That page is downloaded here in works folder. So in the JSP concept, I will explain you that. Okay. So all these folders information you must have. Please note down. Take it. Tomcat Tomcat server folder structure. Tomcat server folder structure. ఎందుకు అలా వస్తుంది వైర్ కాలేదు. What is the version number you have used? 11.0.0. Okay. Please write down this. We will go to the servlet program. Have written heading Tomcat software folder structure. Tomcat server software or Tomcat software folder structure. Completed? Okay. Now let's start understanding servlets. And tell me, what is a servlet? Servlet is a servlet, which is a servlet. What is a servlet? Come on, what is a servlet? Servlet is a, what is a student? Student is a object. In the real world, it is an object. In Java, what is it? In Java, what is a student? In Java, what is an employee? In real world, student is an object here. In Java, what is? Class. What is employee? Class. What is bank account? Class. What is servlet? Class. Super. Student is a class, but is it a individual type class? No, it is a which type? Which class type? Subclass. Which subclass? Person subclass. Excellent. Tell me, lion is a class of what type? Animal. So tell me, what is a lion? Lion is a animal type class. Okay. Now I am asking, what is animal? What is animal? Animal is a class which represent real world animal, right? Which represent animal is a class which represents real world animal in the programming world. Then how can I say servlet? Servlet is also a class like student, like employee, like bank account. Servlet is also a class. But can you call every class is a servlet, a class as a servlet? No. Can you call every class is an animal? No. The class which is implementing from animal interface is called animal class. A class which is implementing from person is called what? Person class. A class which is implementing from shape is called what? Shape type class. Like that, when I can call a class is a servlet. Can I call any class as a servlet? No. A class, correct, which is implementing from servlet interface is called what? Servlet. Then tell me, what is a servlet? A servlet is a Java interface. It is not a class. Everybody say class, class, class. Class means subclass. But I want to say something like this. What is a servlet? A servlet is a Java interface which represents server-side programming or which helps us to develop server-side programming. Understand my point? Which helps us to develop server-side programming as part of web application. A servlet is used for developing a web application or website. Okay, there are several definitions are there. Servlet is a class that executes in the server to process the request. Servlet is a Java class which execute in server to process the web request. Okay, and generate the response and returns to the client. So there are several definitions are there. So what is the correct definition of servlet? How can you write? A servlet is a, according to the API documentation, a servlet is a class that process the that is used for developing server side programming, also used for processing the web request and generate the response. Let us try to see what Sun Microsystem given definition. We will follow that. Now here I am typing servlet API documentation. Servlet API documentation. Now I come to the Apache Tomcat. Let's see what it will open. Or else here I have javax.servlet. Open a new tab. Now look at that. This is what you call javax.servlet package contains a number of classes and interface that describe and define the contracts between a servlet class and the runtime environment provided for an instance of such class by confirming servlet container. Okay, description, any more details? No details. Then go down, you will find an interface called what? Servlet. What it will do? Defines methods that all servlets must implement. A servlet is a small Java program. Is it talking about this servlet? Na? A servlet is a small Java program that runs within a web server. A servlets receive and respond to requests from web clients, usually across HTTP protocol. To implement this interface, you can write generic servlet that extends servlet, generic servlet class. Okay, I'll tell that point. So what is a servlet? A servlet is a small Java program that runs within a web server. I don't say small or bigger, least bother. Okay, a servlet is a Java program that runs within the web server. Here program means what? Is it a class or interface? Interface. Whenever I say servlet, if servlet is a interface, can we work with interface? No. Compulsory what we require? Implementation class is required. So whenever we talk about interface, we have to consider both. What is that? Interface and implementation class. Both together we call it as what? Servlet. For example, when I say student, means only student including person. Including person. So there are two words I want you to understand. Number one, servlet. Number two, servlets. No, first servlets, then next one is what? Servlet. Introduction to servlets. What is a servlets? And tell me what is a servlets? A servlets is a, I'm taking plural here, okay? A servlets is a Java EE technology. A servlets is a, what is a servlet and servlet? Okay, first let me understand servlets and then we'll come back to what? Servlet. Third point, what is a servlet and why servlet? Tell me, what is a servlet and why servlets? Let's make together one point. What is a servlet? A servlet is a Java EE technology. Which technology? It is a web technology. It is a web technology used for developing a web application or website. It is used for developing a web application or website. Okay, then what is a servlet and why servlet? A servlet is a Java. People are calling Java program. Shall we also call Java program? Or you want more specifically Java interface? What is a servlet? Why servlet? What do you want? Interface or programmer? More specifically, if you want to call, you should call it as what? Interface. Or generalized way means Java program. Okay. Right. So we will do one thing. When you are talking about interface servlet, we will specify what? Servlet. Servlet is a interface. At this minute, right, let us make it a simple one. A servlet is a Java program. It is used for developing server side Java program that runs in a where web server in server computer. What the use of it? It is used for developing server side program as part of a web application development. What is it? A servlet is used for processing web request sent from Okay, processing web request and generates response. Okay, servlet is used for processing a web request and generates response. After generating response, what it will do? It sends the response to the client and display output. Okay, that points we'll see later. Okay, let us see once again. A servlet is a small Java program that runs within the web server. Servlets receive and respond to requests from web clients. Okay, that what receive and respond. Respond means what? Processing request and generating response. So if you tell this information to the interviewer, that is more than enough. Tell me, what is the difference between a servlet and main method class? Are both the same? Yes. A main method class take the request from command prompt, process the request and generate output. Whereas a servlet will take the request from command prompt or from the web browser within local system or from the network, from the network. Servlet and main method both are same. Okay, I can say one small point here. A servlet program is a replacement, not alternative, replacement for main method class for making for process for executing business logic of an application via network call. Network call and via web request. Okay, what you can say at this point? A main method class can execute vlogic of the application, vlogic of an application as a standalone application. SA means standalone application within the same system from command prompt with Java command. Okay, this point already in our advanced introduction to advanced Java beginning classes we have written. Remember, this one take as a sub point here. And next, a servlet. This is not a main method call, main method class. A servlet class. A servlet class can execute the same business logic of an application as standalone application or internet application. Internet application from where? From where? Same system or remote system? From remote system, from browser with an URL. With an URL. Okay, na? So these are the points you have to tell to interviewer. So what is a servlets? If you use the word introduction to servlets and servlet. Servlet is a specification or servlet is a technology. Okay, a servlet is a Java technology. It is a web technology specification. Web technology specification. It is used for developing a web application or an website. Okay. Next, what is a servlet? Why use the servlet? A servlet is a Java program that runs in a web server in server computer. It is used for developing server-side program as part of a web application. Or you remove this as part of a web application. Okay. Why completed? A servlet is used for what the main purpose of servlet in a web application? Is it meant for developing business application? No. A servlet is used for processing a web request and generates response. Okay, generate the response with the inputs sent from web client. With the inputs sent from web client. Okay, web client means who is the web client? Browser. Then now tell me what is the main. Okay, servlet is okay processing request. In earlier applications development, how did we process the request, generate the response? That is where a servlet program is a replacement of main method class for executing business logic of an application via network. As internet application. A main method class can execute business logic of an application as a standalone application within the same system from command prompt with Java command. What is the Java command? Single quote. Next, a servlet class. A servlet class can execute the same business logic of an application as internet application from a remote system from browser with an URL. So did you get clarity on servlets means what? Servlet means what? Servlets means one class or it is a big technology. It's a big technology. It is a specification. What the meaning of specification? Already you have an idea. Specification is a PDF document that provide rules and guidelines for developing one bigger software. Okay. Next. So a specification is nothing but API. It has a multiple classes and interfaces. Okay. What is a servlet and why servlet? Servlet is a Java program. Why servlet? For processing web request. So to execute our project as an internet application. So a servlet is used for processing web request and generate response. Let me write one more point. A servlet is used for executing our application. Which application? Business application as an internet application. Okay. Then from there, this point continuation. A servlet program is a replacement of main method class. Please write down these points quickly. What the today written notes here? You are the replacement of your brother. What the meaning of it? Tomcat server software. Prashant, what the meaning of this, Prashant? Priya, if servlet has a main method, it should be executed by using Java command. Na? So servlet doesn't have main method. Even if you write main method, it's waste. Prashant, you didn't tell me. AC is the replacement of Colors. What the meaning of? That is the meaning of that statement, na? Servlets will execute without main method. It's like a business logic program. It's like a method with M1, a class with M1. Then who is the main method class? Catalina. Servlet container executes servlet, na? servlet container is main method class. Your mother provided cashew nuts upma. Without eating, if you ask many questions, what your mother will say? Prashant? Your mother provided so many nuts in the upma and provided you eat, but without eating, you will keep on posting the questions. What is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? Then what? Mother will slap you first and will say, chup chop, khalo. Huh? So now I should also do the same now. If I teach you first program, you will get confusion. If I teach TD first, we'll have double confusion. Excellent. First Yitra Tumri fellow, right? First you eat, later you will get clarity what is what. When you are learning something very much new, you never see, you must wait for at least one cycle to complete. Keep on shooting questions, it creates a lot of more confusion. Accept and move. Hmm? Completed? Now, generally, in a share market, our shareholders will buy a stock for 1 year on Diwali. Anybody following share market? Anybody doing an investment in share market? No one? Yeah. You are there? Okay, one person, only one. Okay. As an investor, I'm not asking as a trader. So as an investor, people take a call on Deepavali day. So Diwali to Diwali 1 year, if they want, generally if you want go for 1 year investment, people will take Diwali day. And moreover, there is something called Muhurta trading or something is there. Okay, evening 6 o'clock it will start, 7 o'clock. 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. 1 hour Muhurta trading something is there. Huh? No, today. That Muhurta trading is today, not yesterday. So, Deepavali celebrations is happening today actually. Okay. Ah, like that. Do you have any 1 year plan? This year to next year, what you want to be? Any that kind of plan? You have 1 year plan? Full stack Java course completion. Any of you are taken this plan? Full stack Java course completion is your 1 year plan, or full stack Java becoming full stack Java developer is your plan? You take an admission to become full stack Java developer, but currently you are just completing the course. Cross check yourself. Cross check yourself. Are you trying to become full stack Java developer, or just you are completing the course? That is very, very, very important. You have to realize. That's very important. Okay. Every week, every 15 days, every 1 month, you recheck your progress. How much I learned, how much I remember. Last class in core Java, I think 11 o'clock batch, one student come and ask me, sir, daily I'm studying, sir, but I am forgetting what to do. Angel, what should I say? Every day is study, but forgetting. What should I say? That student only studying the notes. That's why he's forget. You have to apply the concepts, whatever you are learning in your real life. For example, you learn class object, then immediately you have to first take the example from the real world, then implement it as a program, then go and read the theory. Then you never forget. I want to reveal one secret now. Ready? Yeah? Please don't tell outside. Okay? Advanced Java, I taught in my beginning of the career of trainer, and I developed the projects in the company almost for this is 2024, almost for 7 years. I didn't teach advanced Java. Almost for 7 to 8 years, I didn't teach advanced Java. Okay, 10, I think 2014 onwards. I didn't exactly not remember when I stopped. Almost I didn't teach. Now, when Naresh sir called me and asked, Hari, now you have to take advanced Java class. I said, okay. Then he told me, when will you get ready, you yourself to take the classes, and when your material, everything ready. I said, tomorrow onwards, I can take class. Huh? How can I take? You don't prepare. Not necessary. Already I taught. No, no, it's okay. You have to revise now what is there, what is not there. Yeah, I don't spend the time in the room. I'll spend the time in the classroom if I have any doubts. I'll spend the time with the students in the Google. I no need to specially prepare anything in the room. Not required. Then he doubt me, and he again, no, I'm giving you 15 days time, you revise. Okay, but I didn't revise. Okay, really, I didn't revise. But what I have taught in my old batches, whatever the material folders I'm opening, images, everything, I taught that many years back. Okay, then I just simply, when I start advance first day, even before first day also, I didn't revise anything. I want to test my brain. And I know all you are my core Java students, or maybe very few people are maybe coming from other core Java faculty students. You know what is my style of teaching. I no need to prove anything in front. But I want to test my brain, how much I remember. Okay. Once I start, what is advanced Java? Whatever I have stored in my brain, subconscious brain, down corners, it is slowly pulling out and coming. Even I didn't prepare Servlet notes also at home. Whatever that day, I type this what I have. I have to take one session for my students. 2 hours class I have to teach. How to teach? How can I speak? You have to prepare you yourself like a faculty. When you started feeling you yourself as a faculty, then automatically you will start understanding subject. Is my point understand? If you don't feel you are a faculty, tomorrow you are taking session, if you don't have that fear, then you never understand. As a student, when I was studying Java, I also realized that Java is my life. In college, I used to teach Java small programs to my friends. In the lab, I used to be like a lab coordinator to my friends in the college. And later I come to Amirpet for buying the project and submitting the college. Then here also, I'm going to lab not to practice, to explain to my friends who are there, other students are my friends. Just I'm going there and going all the people systems and checking in their system what this person is typing, what mistakes he's committing, what other student doing mistakes. Okay. Now I try to help them to solve the problem. Really, I don't know anything. But by doing, I want to learn, not by studying. Because it is not Telugu or Hindi or social or science by studying to learn. It is a programming language. Programming language you will learn by doing, not by studying. So in the lab, I am not typing. Understand my point? I am not doing anything. Because if I sit on the laptop and typing, my sir given program only I would copy. My sir given things only I just type. And then what? See the error and going. But when I am moving from my system to other people's system, what are the mistakes that they are committing? I come to know. Because I have a target in my career, what? I want to become trainer. Because I love teaching. Many people are impressed with my teaching and they enjoyed my training. So I decided, let me become trainer. But for teacher, in the school level, college level, lesser salary will come. But I want lakhs of salary and want rich life. I have the dream. Then where I can become trainer? When I come to Amirpet, I realize, oh, here lakhs of students are there. I can earn my expected salary here. Then I started exploring and I have a dream. What is next? What is next? Next month, what I'm going to become? Next month, what I'm going to become? When I stand on dais to teach the students how to handle, how to speak, and next, what are the doubts students will ask? And in the lab, what are the problems students are facing? You also face the same problem, na? Next, after 1 year, realized that with the teaching, I cannot proceed my next level of career. I must be a developer. Then for going to company, what should I prepare? What is the way I have to prepare? What type of programs I have to practice? What the list of the questions I have to prepare? Everything I prepared and went to the interview room. Whatever I prepared, same thing they asked. Because they will ask the questions from the core Java syllabus only, na? And they have only 40 minutes time. Out of 40 minutes, how many questions they can ask? Important topics which are using a project only they can ask. So I prepared such a way and I always question myself. If I myself satisfied with my answer, interviewer obviously satisfied. So testing purpose, I didn't go to the interview. For getting the job only, I went to the interview with the preparation proper. Start from tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself also. I have written 5 times, 10 times and told myself. And I have searched in the Google also, what is the best way of tell me about yourself? Different website I explored. I prepared myself. Tell me about yourself. An interviewer shocked. I have told tell me about yourself like not other people in a different way I told. Their interview got impressed. So always question yourself. Why interviewer should select me? There are 1,000 people are coming for interview. Among 1,000 people, company required 10 candidates. Among the 10, why I should be the one? What is my difference from other people? What is my unique skill? So think yourself and improve. So what I'm saying, I'm feeling so daily happy that without practicing advanced Java, which I have taught 7-8 years back, still my brain able to remember why? That day I put all my full efforts. I studied properly. I understood properly where it is used properly. And next, yesterday night, I was thinking about Spring Boot. Actually, when I'm teaching core Java, I'll think about what? Advanced Java. How this core Java used in advanced Java. In Spring, the first program, we will create container object. IOC container object we will create. Now I started comparing Advanced Java and Spring Boot. In Advanced Java, we start the container. In Spring Boot, we will create the container object and run main method class. Many years, I learned Spring Boot many years back itself, okay? And I developed the projects in company also. But I didn't get the point to my brain properly. Yesterday night, I realized the doubt was there in my mind, and the architecture behind they given why like that. Yesterday night, I realized. Okay, tell me, sir. I don't tell. Amma, if I tell you, you will go and tell to everybody. So I don't tell. If I take Spring Boot class, then I will tell. So why it is happened like that? Why Servlet is happened like this? So the comparison, okay, you asked now today why you are happy, sir. Why I'm happy? Yesterday I learned something new. Remember, as a person, when you learn something new by your own, then that gives you so much happiness to you. So much positivity in your brain, in your body. Real I'm saying. Learn something new by your own, and how much happy you will have, how much confidence you will get, all the fear you have in the previous, can I do or cannot do, can I do or cannot do. One day you try something new, one program you develop by your own, then unknowingly you will realize, why I'm okay, so much confidence will get, so much happiness. Until you ask, I don't know that I was happy. Then I started thinking from why I'm happy, what happened yesterday. So then I started realizing, whenever I learn something new point in Java, obviously I'll be very happy. And moreover, I was started preparing a material. Many, I can say months, for many months or many 2-3 years, I am keep on saying, I'll write a programming, I'll write a book on logical programming, but I didn't write. Now I started writing the book. Only exclusively logical programming book I am writing. Yesterday, three programs I have written, and I also understood what is the different ways of writing the logic. And I'm giving some thought process to my brain. My brain is becoming, after 20 years, my brain is also becoming more active, learning something new. That's why it's very happy. So I used to tell to your seniors also, learn something new that will give you so much of happiness and so much of confidence. So out of the syllabus, out of subject, what we are teaching in the class, learn something by your own. That is very important. Now, let's go. Hope you understand what you are going to do now. Learn something new daily by your own. Right up. What is Servlet's API? I think this point I no need to tell. What is the meaning of API? You know already what is the meaning of API? What is the API? API is a collection of classes and interfaces. Then tell me, what is Servlet's API? A set of classes and interfaces, those are meant for developing a web application. Servlet program is Servlet. With only Servlet, can we develop that much big web application? No. Along with Servlet, we need some other programs help also. So, what is a Servlet? Right. Have you written all these points completed? These points, no? People who completed, okay, remaining people proceed. A set of classes and interfaces once again, write like this. A set of interfaces and their implementation classes. Used for developing a web application is called Servlet's API. A set of interfaces and their implementation classes used for developing a web application is called Servlet's API. Now tell me, Servlet's API available means all these interfaces and their implementation classes. Okay, I'm writing one word, don't get angry, okay? Set of classes, comma, interfaces and their implementation class, because there are some these interfaces unimplement normal classes also available. Okay, that's why I'm saying set of classes, interfaces and their implementation classes. One second, I'm just getting doubt. Implementation classes are not available as part of servlets API. They are server API. Shall we write the statement or not? Just I am doubting. If I write this statement, maybe it is giving wrong meaning. Okay, strike off this. Because implementation classes are provided by server software vendors, not provided by Servlet API designer. That's why I'm removing it. Write down like this. Set of classes and interfaces. Those are used for. It's a good, you can remember lifetime, okay. Set of classes and interfaces, those are used for developing a web application is called Servlets API. Tell me, Servlet API means set of classes and interfaces. Are they directly given or organized as a packages? A Servlet API is organized into two packages. 1 second. I think 3 packages, third package added. It is organized into 3 packages, I guess. 1 second. JavaX.servlet. 1 minute रुको. Classes. This is the old version. This is a old version. Tomcat 11 API documentation. So this is what I want. Initial version is java.servlet. Okay, initial version is java.servlet and javax.servlet, javax.servlet.http. Only 2 packages available. In the latest version, annotations are added. That's why third package also we got called what? Annotations. One second, don't write. Servlet 6.1, this is 5.0. In 5.0, also we have annotations. Okay. Tomcat 9 version. Tomcat 9 version is Servlet 4. In Servlet 4 also we have annotation and descriptor. So descriptor we can ignore. We can take handles type, Servlet security, web filter, web listener, web server. Okay. Descriptor, JSP config. Okay. Tag. These are JSP related. All right. Servlet API. Servlet API are organized into how many packages? 3 packages. In which version the package names are changed? In Java E 11 version, means Tomcat 11 version we can say. Right now, Java X. First one is what? Java X dot servlet, Java X dot servlet dot HTTP, and third, Java X dot servlet dot annotation. The Servlet API classes and interfaces are organized into three packages: Java X dot servlet, Java X dot servlet dot HTTP, Java X dot servlet dot annotation. Completed? Look at here. I want to write version number. In Java 9, what is the version number? I mean, what is the package name? Java X. In Servlet 10 version, Servlet 10 version is Jakarta. If you are using Tomcat 10 or 11, you must use the package name Jakarta. Right. From Tomcat 10 onwards, the package names are changed to Jakarta. The package Jakarta.servlet provides classes and interfaces for developing servlet program common to all web, all protocols. For developing servlet program common to all protocols. The package Java X Jakarta.servlet.http provides classes and interfaces for developing HTTP protocol based servlet program. HTTP protocol based servlet program. underline basic servlet, underline HTTP protocol based server. Third package, the package jakarta.servlet.annotation provides annotations to develop annotations based servlet, or 1 minute. To develop servlet with annotations by to develop servlet with annotations it eliminates XML files usage. Hmm. Hmm. The servlet interface, the servlets API interfaces and classes are provided by Sun, and their implementation classes are provided by web server and application server vendors like Apache, WebLogic, JBoss, or Red Hat Linux something is kind of. The above vendors provides their implementation classes as jar files. We can get them by installing server software, or we can download those jar files. So Remember JDBC architecture, Java program to JDBC specification, JDBC specification to JDBC driver, JDBC driver to database. Can you imagine the diagram here? What is that? Java EE specifications. How many Java EE specifications we have? 3. Servlet, JSP, EJB. All these 3 specifications are implemented by different vendors. What vendor? Apache company, Tomcat, WebLogic, BEA WebLogic. Okay, this is not any idea. BEA. Company name is BEA. Nowadays what? BEA replaced with what? Oracle. Okay, now you can leave WebLogic in bracket if you have BEA by Oracle. So now observe this diagram. You may get an idea. Look at that. Server users, service user 1, service user 2 service. Java technologies are implemented by Sun. Sun Microsystem also implemented by provided and implemented. Oracle, Apache, WebLogic, IBM. IBM company also implemented. This is broader diagram. And let's see, where is the diagram? Look at this diagram. Java EE based applications, servlet or JSP or EJB based code, Java EE based code internally accessing Java EE specification. We have remember JDBC program. JDBC program internally accessing what? JDBC specification. That JDBC specification is internally using what? Implementations. Here specifications are provided by 3 different servers I am taking. Tomcat, WebLogic, Glassfish. Okay, Tomcat is developed by Apache. WebLogic is developed by BEA, now Oracle. Glassfish is also Oracle. Okay, this is some proprietary web server. And now Tomcat provided implementation classes jar file, servlet-api.jar, JSP-api.jar. WebLogic provided jar file is WebLogic.jar, and Glassfish is Java EE.jar. Listen, the Tomcat we are using, WebLogic and Glassfish we are not using. There's very heavy weight. You cannot understand. Take light. In company, if they are using, use it. Otherwise, leave it. Okay. So what is the diagram? Java EE based application internally using servlet JSP EJB based code by accessing Java EE specifications. How many specifications we have? 3. What the 3? Servlet, JSP and EJB. So the 3 implementations are provided different servers. What are the servers? Tomcat server, WebLogic server, Glassfish server. These 3 servers are providing the implementation via jar files. What is the name of Tomcat provided jar file? Servlet-JSP-. WebLogic, Glassfish. That is an important point is there. Tomcat is an application server or web server? Web server. Then it provide implementation to only two specifications. What is that? Servlet and JSP. WebLogic is a web server or application server? Application server. It providing implementations to all 3 technologies, but it is not providing 3 jar files. All 3 technologies are mixed inside single jar file called what? WebLogic.jar. Is it clear? And next, Glassfish is also application server. It also providing all 3 specification implementation, and they provided in a single jar file called what? Java EE.jar. Like this, there are many servers are there, but we are not carrying it. Only one server we are using, Tomcat. As EJB out from there, WebLogic and Glassfish is not required. Okay, write on this diagram for your clarity. So totally 3 columns: Java EE based application, server softwares, implemented classes, jar file. What it is? 3 arrow marks. Tomcat also implementation, WebLogic also implementing, Glassfish is also implement. You can write arrow mark, Tomcat, jar files, WebLogic, jar file, Glassfish, jar file. Completed? Okay. Now tell me, it's the time we have to start understanding, like how JDBC API we understood. Remember the interface names. Similarly, servlet names also we have to remember. Observe the small diagram here. What is the flow of execution of the project? Internet application diagram. Hope you remember. This is our server computer. Now, and this is our browser. Browser want to execute our Java program. Please listen. Okay, tell me. Now the browser is dash doing requesting, na? We call it as what? Request. Browser is requesting Java program to execute logic. Which logic? Business logic or persistence logic, whatever. Then the Java program executing the logic, generate the result and sending the result to browser. Sending that result to browser is called what? Response. So super. And tell me, to represent this, okay, to represent this program as a servlet, to represent this request, to represent this response, I need totally 3 classes, na? Adyaksha, tell me. Now you take Naresh IT website. In Naresh IT website business, we have student, we have faculty, we have admin, we have laptop, we have blah, blah, blah. To represent each real world thing, we are background creating one class, na? Similarly, to represent this class as a servlet, I need one class. The name of that class is servlet. Okay? Everyone should participate. Second, I want to represent this request. Come on. Whose request? What is the class name? Servlet request. Okay. Third one. Servlet response. Wow, super. Tell me, servlet request, servlet response. Are these 3 classes or interfaces? Wonderful, excellent. They are interfaces. Now tell me, these 3 interfaces allowing us to develop servlet program, take the request, process the request, generate the response, send the response to the browser to display output. But on which protocol? Specific to any one particular protocol or any protocol? Any protocol. It will work. These 3 are work for any protocol. No, I want specific to one particular protocol called HTTP. Come on. HTTP servlet. Super. HTTP servlet. Next. HTTP servlet request. HTTP servlet response. Adyaksha, understood? But told me servlet is a class or interface? Interface. Then it should have implementation common to all servlets. Then we have a common implementation class called what? Generic servlet. What is the class name? Generic servlet. Repeat again. Servlet, servlet request, servlet response. Generic servlet, HTTP servlet, HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response. Once again, please. Why half people only telling remaining people what you want? Only listen, huh? Repeat again. Centra Srutula Kalpesara. Okay, do one thing. Separate. Servlet, generic servlet, HTTP servlet. Repeat. Okay. Servlet request, servlet response. HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response. Servlet, generic servlet, HTTP servlet meant for developing servlet program. To execute the servlet program, what is required? Request. Request and response. What is the request and response? Servlet request, servlet response. HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response. Very, very important. HTTP session. What is that? HTTP session. Understand what the meaning of HTTP session. Tell me, from this browser, request is created. Okay, whenever you send request, this browser is connected to the servlet, na? I mean, this browser is connected to the server, na? Next time, from this browser only, multiple requests I am sending. Is my server asking you every time login? How many times you are logging to the Amazon? One time. How many times you are logging to the Gmail? One time. But after one time login, until you sign out, until you log out, many requests you are sending to the application from your connection. That connection from the servlet point of view called what? Session. This session is created by using which protocol? HTTP. So what is the interface representing? What is the interface representing that session? HTTP session. What is that? HTTP session. Tell me, in our database, once you open a connection, what I told, connection is a session. The time period between connection created and connection closed. Similarly, once from the browser, you send a request to the server, then this client and the server are connected. Now the connection ID is sending every time to client to server, server to client. This process and identifying the client as a old client. Request is coming from the old client. We have to maintain one concept called what? Session. And the session is handled by HTTP protocol. That's why it is called what? HTTP session. Repeat all the classes once again. Servlet, generic servlet, HTTP servlet, servlet request, servlet response, HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response, HTTP session, cookie. Not cooking, cookie. COOKEIES, cookies. Okay, na cookies. Tell me, when you access any browser for better performance, please accept my cookies. It is asking, na? That cookies is nothing but session management. Okay. If you go to browsing history and remove all the previous cookies and everything, what happened? Your system become new system. Old browsing history, everything gone. Can Google give you the recommendations? No. Okay. So what is the 9th class? Cookies. Okay. Repeat once again. Cookies. Okay, na? 9 interfaces in the 3 are the classes. Cookies is also class. Okay, next question. Tell me, I develop 2 servlets. Then one servlet has to interact with another servlet, na? To interact one servlet to another servlet, if it is a regular Java classes, I can create object and I can call. But are they regular classes or server side classes? Then you cannot access server side classes directly. You have to access only via request and response. To access via request and response, to call one servlet from other servlet, we have a special program called request dispatcher. Courier boy, you know, courier boy, Zomato. and Swiggy. What he is doing? He is dispatching the food from restaurant to customer. Dispatching the money from customer to restaurant. Now the dispatching work in Java done by whom? Request dispatcher. What it is dispatching? Request. That's why it is called what? Request dispatcher. What the use of request dispatcher? Request dispatcher is meant for accessing one servlet from other servlet by dispatching the request. Means by sharing the request. What is the new interface name? Request dispatcher. Tell me once again. Fast servlet, generic servlet, HTTP, servlet, generic servlet, HTTP servlet, servlet request, servlet response, HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response, HTTP session cookies. Next one. Request dispatcher, Tumri fellow. What the 10th one? Request dispatcher. Clear? 10 points. Completed? No, still there. How many servlets are there in the project? One servlet only develop, or many servlets? Many servlets we can develop. To every servlet, I have to pass some initialization values. Servlet is a regular class or special class? Can we create the object? No. Who will create object? Servlet container. I should tell to servlet container. Servlet container, servlet container. Whenever you create my servlet object, please give these values. So for example, now tell me you already left to the home. Already left the home to the school. Now tell me your junior is coming. Your other classmate junior is coming late to the school. Then your mother will go and tell to the junior, Babu, today my son has forgot this lunch box. Can you please take it? And like that, you can ask the servlet container, whenever you create servlet object, please give these initialization values to the servlet. How many initialization values are there? One or many are there? Many. For grouping all the values, we need one object. That object is servlet config. What is that? Servlet config. For one servlet config. Second servlet config. Third servlet config. 10 servlets are there. How many servlet config objects? 10. Tell me, for all these 10 servlets, again common values will be there, na? That common values are stored via servlet context. Servlet context. Servlet context. Tell me, you have a class. From the class you create first object, second object, third object. For all the 3 objects, we have static variables memory class. This class memory contains what? Static variables, common values. What we call it as static context. Non-static variables contains a specific values of the object. That memory is called what? Instance context. Instance context. Instance context is meant for storing values specific to one object. Servlet class context, static context is meant for storing values common to all objects. Like in core Java, in servlet also we have a concept called what? Servlet context, servlet config. Servlet context meant for containing the values common to all servlets. Servlet config is meant for containing values specific to one servlet. And tell me what the 2 interfaces? Servlet config and servlet context. Listen. Listen. Listening? For listening you have ears, no? Like the servlet also has ears. That ears person is called listener. What do you call? Listener. Listener will listen. Servlet has a listener to listen some extra concepts. Before servlet execution, some other work has to be happened. That some other work is called what? Listeners. Tell me, when you take a water taking from the tap, you will take everything or you filtering something? Filtering something. Servlet also having filter. Also contain what? Filter. Listeners, filters. Listener, filter. Tell me, what is the last 2? Listener, filter. Last 4, tell me. Servlet config. Okay, servlet context. Common thing is servlet context, servlet config, listener, filter. Totally how many? 14. Totally how many? 14. Come again. Servlet, generic servlet, HTTP servlet, servlet request, response. HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response. servlet HTTP session, cookies, request dispatcher. Request dispatcher. Next, servlet context, servlet config, listener, filter. Okay ना? समझ में आया? Don't write. Tell me, how many packages are there? Java x.servlet, Java x.servlet.http are meant for developing servlet program. What is the fast interface? Servlet. Its implementation class, generic servlet. Its extension class. Okay. Next. Now in Java x.servlet, we have supporting interfaces, servlet request, servlet response. Servlet request implement sub interface, HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response. Then next, HTTP session, cookie, listener. Okay. Next, servlet context, servlet config, request dispatcher, single thread model, servlet entry stream, servlet output stream, listen interfaces, filter, filter config, filter chain. Servlet config, filter config. Listener, why I have written listener interfaces? It's not one, multiple are there. Like that filter, it's just one filter. Okay. These are the AP interfaces you have to write, and we have to start working with what? Servlet program from tomorrow. Clear? So tomorrow we will make a note of all these interfaces and we'll start working with servlet. So today given notes, what is servlets, why servlets, what is servlet, why servlet, servlet API and their organized packages, purpose of each package. Will you by heart and remember and come? Thank you. I told this 1 week classes up to tomorrow, everything is new. This 1 week theory notes, if you don't by heart and don't remember, next week classes are very difficult. So requesting everyone, by heart, remember and come tomorrow. Okay? Thank you. Make classes easy day by day. Go. No, I don't teach. Collins.